I am Maria Luisa Zambrano. Treaty Ecuador and Spain. Bilateral Investment Treaty. A BET is nothing more than agreement between two countries to protect the legal security of investors, in this case Ecuador-Spain. Agreement for the reciprocal promotion and protection of investment between the Kingdom of Spain and the Republic of Ecuador. This argument is about the economic cooperation, specifically the promotion and protection of investment in reciprocal benefits between Spain and Ecuador, the contracting parties. The agreement has agreed 12 articles. Article 1. Definitions. Investor as this natural or legal person. Investment refers to all kind of assets acquired in accordance with the legislation of the country. Article 2. Promotion and admission. Each contracting party will promote investment made in its territory by investment of the other contracting party and will admit such investment in accordance with its legal provisions. Article 3. Each contracting party will protect in its territory investment made by investors of the other contracting party and will not block, through unjustified or discriminatory measures such investment. Article 4. Treatment. Each contracting party will guarantee in its territory a fair and equitable treatment to the investment made by investors of the contracting party and will not be less favorable than agreed by each contracting party the investment made in this territory by investors of the third country enjoying most favored nation treatment. Article 5. Nationalization and expropriation. The nationalization and expropriation which might be adopted by the authorities of one country party against the investment of investors of the other contracting party in its territory will apply exclusively for reasons of public utility, and no case will be discriminated. Article 6. Compensation for losses. Investors of a contracting party lose investment or investment income in the territory of the other contracting party, suffer losses due to war, a state of national emergency. The other contracting party will be accorded for compensation or other agreement, treatment no less favorable than that which the last contracting party gives the investors of any third state. Article 7. Transfers. Each contracting party will accord the investors of the other contracting party, in respect of investment made in this territory, the possibility of freely transferring the income from such investment and other payments related to him. Article 8. More favorable conditions. Conditions more favorable than those of this agreement which have been agreed will not be affected by this agreement. Article 9. Principle of subrogation. In the event that a contracting party has guaranteed any financial guarantee on non-commercial basis, in connection with an investment made by an investor of that contracting party in the territory of the other contracting party, the last contracting party will accept an application of the principle of subrogation of the first contracting party in the economic resources of the investors. This surrogation will enable the first contracting party to be the direct beneficiary of all compensation payments to which the initial investor may be entitled. Article 11. Disputes between a contracting party and investor of the other contracting party. Any disputes relating to the investment arising between one of the contracting parties and an investor of the other contracting party, respect of matters governed by this agreement will be notified in writing. Article 12. Entry into force station denunciation. This agreement will enter into force on the day on which the two contracting parties have notified each other. It will remain in force for an initial of 10 years and will be renewed tacitly for consecutive 5 years period. This agreement entered into force on 18 June 1997 to minimize political risks and provide greater legal security to the investor, as a reminder of the Ministry of Economy.
Miss Cristina Torres. My name is ELOISA GUAMAN. I'm going to talk about bilateral treaty between Ecuador and Spain.
May 17, 2017 was published in the newspaper El Comercio. President Rafael Correa renounced 16 bilateral investment treaties. Several embarrassing made with the government for bilateral investment treaty of May 15, 2017. President Rafael Correa ratified through executive decree the denunciation of the bilateral treaty of investments of 17 countries. The texts were published on Thursday, May 16, 2017 on the website of the President of the Republic. The decree established that the PIBs of Italy, Bolivia, Peru, and Spain and renounced and determined USA, Canada, Argentina, Venezuela, the Netherlands, France, Sweden, Chile, Switzerland, China, Germany, and Great Britain. Between 1968 and Ecuador signed and treaty PIBs, no longer in force for various reasons, including direct notification of termination by the government of Rafael Correa to the embarrassed because before 2008 the process could be fulfilled without the treatment of the national legislature. With the new constitution, the process had to go down that path. The Assembly denounced the 17 remaining 13 for including arbitration in foreign office, sometimes that contradiction Article on session 009, Monday, July 8. Vote on the Commission report corresponding to the request for approval of the complaint of the agreement for the promotion and reciprocal protection of investment between the Kingdom of Spain and the Republic of Ecuador. We proceeded to reconsider the vote of the report on the Commissions regarding the request for approval of the complaint of the agreement for the promotion and reciprocal protection of investment between the Kingdom of Spain and the Republic of Ecuador. The reports were approved, obtained 9 affirmative votes and 1 abstention from the Assembly's members present. How long has the GLP Ecuador consortium been operating, and what are the non-completions in the World Health Inquiry? According to the information contained in the Notice of Arbitration, the GLP Consortium was formed as the association in Ecuador on March 12. Flopet determined that the consortium breached the contract in the accordance with Article 94 of the Organic Law on the National Public Procurement Service. Specifically, the consortium made reference in 1 and 3 and side articles, which state that the contract referring to the aforementioned law may declare terminate early and unilaterally for breach of contract. That is to say, the LPG consortium did not fulfill the object of the contract with the indicated period. Of the other hand, Article 3 on the public procurement lets to place in the ballot of refinance excess the amount on the warranty of faithful performance on a contract in the present case, while action as Control General permit of will drive deficits in interest of the Ecuador state. The Attorney General Office also opponents is the procedure in which impairments will defend the interests of the Ecuadorian state. It's very sought, however, to regular conflict actions in the sex since only the notification and arbitration is available. During the time being, the Attorney General Office has already submitted to the confirmed to procure term of the arbitration and the study and the information on the case, which it belongs analyze the relaxed documentation and making coordination for meeting with interstate entities involved. Ecuador to complete with ruling in the Inter-America. Using Minister Lady Zúñiga in confirming that Ecuador will complete with a ruling by the Inter-American Court of Human Rights of the case of 1998, with which entailed a transfusion. The minimum was in fact where the sheet was 3 years old of the private clinic in Cuenca. She was giving blood from in the Red Cross van. Ecuador received the notification, which indicates that the dispute originated in the resolutions issued by Flopet against LPG for breach of contracts. The so-called GLP constituted in the country in 2011, despite having failed to comply with Article 94 of the Organic Law of the National Public Procurement Service, and that therefore the public company fleet patrolling Ecuadorian. Resolved to declare unilateral termination and in advance of the contract filing an international arbitration claim against the Ecuadorian state. What information has come to the State Attorney General Office regarding the fact that the Ecuador, Constitution and Spain, field of Maesa and Ecuadorian Tesca, issued a notice of arbitration against the country under the bilateral investment treaty, issued a notice of arbitration against the country under the bilateral investment treaty signed between Spain and Ecuador. In fact, the Ecuadorian state received a notification of arbitration on July 1. Based on the bilateral investment protection treaty signed between the Kingdom of Spain and Ecuador. In its arbitration notification, the constraint indicates of objects on the controversies to relation issued by FLOPET. Said resolution terminates the contract signed between FLOPET and the concerned firm. The supply and the construction for civil war, electromechanical war, atomic wars, instrumentation wars, and the telecommunication wars on the project Martin Terminal and storage plant, Santa Elena provinces, which were signed in March 2011. In addition, the construction was declared a non-compliant contractor.